Hi, I'm Sunny Bottoms, and this is Between Two Levees. My guest today is Doug Leonards. Doug, where are you originally from?
Originally from Crowley, born and raised right out of Crowley. Grew up on a rice farm. Cut my teeth, pulling weeds and everything else, everything that associated with any kind of rice and soybean farm. Had crawfish, everything else. Did that all the way up through college and decided, let's see what else is out there, and found a career in ag business and been here almost 30 years.
Great. So you work for Helena in
Yes,
Morse,
sir.
correct?
In Morse, yes.
All right. So I know, you being a native South Louisianian, you eat some interesting things.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I live down here a little bit, so I know. So, alligator? You eat alligator regularly?
Oh, hell no, not regularly.
But you'll eat some, right?
I'll eat it. If it
about-
shows up on my table, I will eat it.
What about possum?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. So, all right, one more question. What does bald eagle taste like?
Between chicken and heron.
I've always wondered. Wondered. You're the only honest one I've ever interviewed.
Well,
so.
better than that is whooping crane, but I can't really talk about that.
Well, we won't talk about that.
All right.
All right. So, Doug, I appreciate you cutting your vacation from Hawaii short and get off the plane and coming directly out here and let me interview you. So,
no problem.
love
Enjoy
the
the heat.
all right. So, tell us a little bit about this farm, and we'll have some cutaways to kind of show what you're talking about, because we've got 3 fields here we're discussing today. So, give me some background on the first 2 fields that were treated the same.
Right here, this is the younger of the 3. It's Rice Tech seed planted. Did a burn down, a little bit of delayed planting here to help with some of the red rice control, trying to kill as much as you can with the glyphosate. Came in there pre-merged with glyphosate, command, and permit. Planted, or right after planting. Did the initial flush, got it going, and right before permanent flood, walked the field, looked at it. It has a bad history of multiple grasses. It has some resistant barnyard that's resistant to new path and resistant to facet. So, you got to kind of cater toward what can be put out here. But the key grass out here was kind of a fairly semi-new grass we have in South Louisiana. It's called Neely Springletop. Very, very, very difficult to control. Glyphosate struggles with it. Any of your conventional rice herbicides, you got to be is weak on it. Rice Star is really good on it. Okay. So we kind of catered this whole spring on this one. Quarter mile behind us is another 90-something acres. We did it, exact same thing. Came in pre-flood with a rate of permit to control the smaller broadleaves and sedges. Did a heavy shot of nitrogen. Flood gave a flood up, and roughly 2 weeks afterwards. Don't have to be in the exact day.
Yeah. But
we waited for a good, clear, hot, warm day, let the water recede, and we came in with roughly 22 ounces of Rice Star with a pint of Agrodex. And as you can see, it was really, really bad with Neely Springletop, and I can honestly say I don't think there's a stalk out here. And behind us in the adjacent field, they have a high line, and you can see where the pilot couldn't get. And it was a fair amount of grass that could have really choked this farm out. Yeah. And this is basically almost a grass-free farm.
Yeah, it looks really good driving around. The only Neely's was under that highline wire. That was impressive. Now, we were also discussing the field to the south here.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Same farmer, different practice. This was drill planted. The one to the south of it was water planted. Trying to beat the red rice, just the way the tillage practice worked on that particular farm. They planted, did the initial drain, got it green, got it pegged down, looked at the field, and it had mainly a large aquatic springletop issues with it, and also found a few some annual sedge out there. which they have a lot of resistant annual sedge down here. So had the farmer just do a flood up. Wasn't really a true pinpoint, but we got the flood water back as quick as we could. The rice responded well. We had some cold weather earlier.
Yeah.
It warmed up. Rice grew. Got a good initial flood on it, and we applied some basic fertilizer with, I think was 10 ounces, 11 ounces of Rogue impregnated on the fertilizer, and just had the farmer just hold steady. The water as long as at least 7 days, and of course that was when we basically had a mini drought.
Yeah.
And then after 7, 8, 9 days, he had to crank the pump. We raised it again, and we drove by it, and it's relatively a pretty clean field.
Yeah,
and
it's impressive.
Standalone.
That's all that has on it.
One shot. Yeah, it probably could have used maybe a little 2,4-D on some edges and stuff, but for one application, impregnated.
Yeah.
It's a very
That's very
acceptable grass
economical.
control.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me today, Doug, and I appreciate you.
No problem, Miss Sunny.
Let's go get us some alligator.
Alligator.